Hello, listeners. I am so excited that today we have our very own Lori in the studio with us to share about her trip to Malawi, Africa.
Welcome to FBC Missions So That podcast. This is an encouraging place to hear how God is working in and around us. We know that He blesses His people so that they can bless the world around them. Join us as we discuss how to join God in all that He is doing. Why is God working in our life, church, and community? It's so that through us the world will know that He is near.
All right. Well, my name is Brittany, and I'm so excited to be here with Lori, a dear sister to me, because I actually got to go with her on this trip, and it was amazing. So, Lori, thank you for coming in today, and let's just begin with, how are you doing today?
I am doing great, and I have finally gotten rested up after my very recent trip to the Middle East, and I'm super excited to be here with you today.
Yes, listeners, Lori has just returned from a trip to the Middle East that she actually shared with me about before we hit record. And so stay tuned for another episode because, Lori, we're going to want you to come back and share about that trip. But today we are focusing on her trip to Malawi, Africa. So before we jump in, Lori, how many mission trips have you been on? I wasn't going to ask you that question, but I'm like, wow, how many have you been on? Do you know?
No.
I didn't think you would.
I don't know.
A lot. This gal, she is special. She loves the Lord. If you know her, you love her, and his goodness just radiates. So, Lori, truly, I loved being with you in Malawi, Africa. Y'all, I got to room with her. We might have shared a bed.
Maybe, possibly.
There's some cool things on mission trips. But let's just begin with Malawi, Africa. So Southeast Africa. I was nearly on the wrong continent there.
Yes.
Yep, Southeast Africa. It's a very small country, and Malawi is one of the poorest countries in the world. It is ranked 174 out of 189 on the Human Development Index, but it is not poor. The things that came out of that trip there, I just think of, to be poor is to be far from the Lord, and They're not that, are they?
Not anymore.
Tell us more.
Well, I think they were before Kelly started going there, but she had been already to Malawi and Masinja Village specifically, and had already trained some of the people, the chiefs, and a few of the people had been trained, not everybody. But when we went, we trained the entire village in the Bible, and we did foundations training and other biblical tools that we used, and now the whole village has heard about Jesus.
It's incredible. So, listeners, if you have not heard episodes 51 or 74, Lori's nodding her head, and I agreed. I highly recommend. You will be blessed to go back and just listen to those episodes where Kelly Nelson is interviewed. And Kelly, along with her African son, Numeri, are the co-founders of the Divine Mission Ministry in Masinja Village in Malawi, Africa. So, Lori, this was your first trip to Malawi. My first trip to Malawi. How in the world did you end up in Malawi, Africa?
Well, I'll tell you, I didn't know a thing about Malawi, Africa until Kelly shared in my growth group. She's a member of my growth group here at FBC, and she shared about her last mission trip in our growth group, and just hearing her passion and the stories that she told about ministering there. Mm-hmm. And they are maybe classified as poor, but they are wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. And they have embraced Christ. And just hearing her tell what she was doing, feeding the children, the orphans and the endangered children, just providing food for them, and just listening to how she had been pouring into them just made me want to go. So whenever she planned another trip, I was like, sign me up.
I love it. And Kelly had never taken a team before.
No,
yeah.
She had gone just her and her husband for a couple of years already. And so they were kind of doing it all on their own with Numeri. And so it was kind of exciting when a bunch of people said, hey, yeah, we want to go with you. And so she led a team, and she was an amazing trip leader.
amazing leader. And I will put in a plug that if God has been stirring in your heart this idea, Malawi, Africa is how would you describe it, Lori? Like for me, it was life-changing, but also just, just something within my soul was stirred on a level that I didn't know was possible. And I just get teary even saying that.
I know. It's just hard to describe until you go. Just how welcoming they are. And yeah, they're poor, but they have a simple life that is so refreshing. Mm-hmm. And they just embraced us and welcomed us so much. And then we're so eager to learn about the Bible and Christ and so willing to accept and to believe. Yeah. And just the way that they interacted with us and were happy to see us every single day. Yes. It just inspires you.
For sure.
Yeah. And taking the Lord and knowledge of Jesus to people who have never heard, that is something that we're focusing on here at FBC. And it was the most amazing experience.
I agree. There were two things you just said that I would love for listeners to have the opportunity to understand better. You mentioned welcoming. Will you tell us a little bit about that? And then I also want to let everyone know that Lori had texted me some pictures before of the welcoming. And of course, I was there firsthand to experience it, but you will get to see some of these photos in a publication coming out. I'm not even sure when, but FBC has some amazing missions publications. So you will get to take a peek at these. And I don't even know if I told you this, Lori, but we'll have an article about you. But tell us about the welcoming, because it was outstanding.
I have never experienced anything like it. The whole village prepared, from the little bitty children all the way up to the chiefs. They prepared a welcome and were sitting there waiting for us when we got there. And they had native dancing and songs. Every group that existed, the men, the women, the youth, the children, they all had prepared a presentation for us to welcome us. Yes. And before we even got there, we're driving in a van, and all these people, women, children, come to meet us a mile away, and they're singing and they're joyful, and they're like, it's true, they've come in their native language. And it was just so amazing. And they ran beside our van for a mile. And then we get closer and the soccer team is waiting for us. And everybody is waiting just to welcome us.
Yes.
It was so amazing.
So special. And I still hear the chanting in my head.
Yes.
And praise the Lord for technology, because just to be able to record that and go back and listen to it, it's just the most beautiful singing.
It is. And it just reminds us of how God is just wanting all people and all nation and all languages to be worshiping him. Yes. At the feet of Jesus.
Yes. And so in Malawi, their native language is Chichewa. And of course we speak English, but there's something about those welcoming songs and chants that we experienced that we did not need to know the language.
We did not. And even before that, I forgot to tell you, when we got to the airport, the women who were in a Bible study together all met us at the airport. They've been waiting for hours for us to get there. And they're all dressed in their little white dresses, and they're singing and chanting and doing their dances and, offering us skirts and just unbelievable. It was amazing.
It was so amazing. And so the drive, help me remember, Lori, the drive from the village to the airport was, do you recall how long of a drive it was? I want to say 2 hours.
Yeah.
Is that
it's
about
close?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we arrived in Malawi, we had a team of nine Mazungus. Mm-hmm. That's what white people are called in Africa. And it was just incredible, because we walk out of the airport and these women had been waiting for hours, and they had driven for hours to meet us.
Yeah, in the back of a truck.
And many of them had never left their village before. Never. I mean, ever. And how many times have I been to the airport?
Right.
I mean, you know what I mean? And so they had never left their village before. These dresses, we had heard that they had saved and made these dresses themselves.
They grew tomatoes so they could sell the tomatoes and make money to make the dresses.
Yeah. And our team was able to take them a sewing machine. So it never really occurred to me, how did they actually make them?
I don't know how they made. I think they had someone make them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they worked hard to be able to make those dresses.
Yeah.
All in our honor.
All to just welcome us and say, we are excited you're here. And they spent the whole week, like, I guess, rearranged every single schedule, or if they had a schedule, just to 1 hour after another, just sit with us and learn and interact with us. And just, we're so engaged. Even the youth were so engaged in just listening and taking it all in and learning. And, you wouldn't see that if you went to a youth conference here. Just so many kids and youth that were just fascinated with writing down every single thing we said.
My family, we are headed to Dallas this weekend. We have a wedding to go to, and we've been scrambling around getting our clothes for the wedding, and we want to, we want to look good, we want to feel good, we want to celebrate this union. But when I now think of that preparation that I'm going through now in the context of the people and the women, the beautiful souls in Malawi, it's way different driving into San Antonio and going to Men's Warehouse.
Yeah, quite different.
Or, running to Walmart and getting the shirts. You know what I mean?
Right.
That is a totally different process than growing tomatoes.
Yeah.
To have the money.
And not even having water to do it. You have to
Yes.
go to the well, put the water on your head and walk a mile or two and bring it to where you're planting the tomato. I mean, it's unbelievable how different our lives are. But just being there for 2 weeks and enjoying their lack of hurry.
Oh, let's go back.
Let's go back. I know.
Tomorrow.
Nobody's in a hurry. Nobody has a clock. Nobody knows what time it is. They just are happy to wait and to sit and enjoy time with you. That is a simpler kind of life that just, really beckons to us.
Lori, I asked someone one day in the village how old they were, and they didn't know for sure.
No, they don't know exactly when their birthday was.
Oh, yeah.
I know. Exactly. You just
and who
live.
cares anyway?
Exactly. You just live your life and
be present. And be present. They're so present. And that welcoming presence was incredible, and that deep connection. And I think about, okay, why do we go? I mean, we are so... we are motivated by Matthew 28:19-20, the Great Commission, the last thing that Jesus said, which I've, since the perspectives class now, like that's a mandate. That's not a suggestion.
Right.
Jesus says, go.
Go and make disciples.
Of all
the people, the nations, the tongues, the tribes, everybody should be worshiping at the feet of Jesus.
Yes. And so we go, and they're excited to see us because Kelly and Greg have been coming for 2 years prior to us and have, radically changed that village.
Yes.
You mentioned the feeding of the children. So if you haven't heard those previous podcasts, again, go back, episode 51 and 74. But there are about 230 to 250 precious times 1,000 children that are being fed every day. And they are so, I'll say it again, precious and thankful and present and patient. In a very tiny, small room. And we were so honored to be able to feed them, to pass it. Do you remember that?
Yes. We passed out their meal, and they were all sitting on the floor in little rows, patiently waiting until every single person had their meal. Preschool
children.
Yes.
Patient.
3 and 4-year-olds until everybody had their meal and everyone prayed.
Yeah.
And after the prayer, then they ate. It was amazing.
So they've already seen what happens when someone comes from afar, the love that Kelly and Greg have paved the way with. And so we were welcomed with open arms. And they were so receptive and willing to hear. So we showed up, and you mentioned getting to teach. And Lori, you were such an amazing leader in that. Lori would kick it off every day with the first lesson. And it's something called Foundations. You want to tell us briefly about Foundations? We did mention it on a previous podcast, but if you'll recap of what Foundations is.
Foundations is a tool that we use to train new believers on the Bible, and it tells the whole story of the Bible in 5 stories, and it kind of gives them a picture of how God had a plan from the beginning to redeem mankind through his Son, the Messiah. And so it just, for people who have never had a Bible, it really helps them to see the whole picture and what God's plan was from the beginning to the end.
Yeah, and so we were really blessed because Kelly and Greg had gone the year before and baptized 41 tribal chiefs and one of the interpreters.
Mm-hmm.
So 42 people total the previous year. And so you really could feel that there were already people there who loved the Lord, but that it was still, I would say, I felt like it was still growing. I don't know what was your feeling.
I felt like the whole village wasn't really on board yet until they were able to be trained. It was a great and amazing beginning. Yeah. And I think we really spread to the whole village. And I think that now that the village has taken hold, and there's many, many believers in the village, I think New Mary and the Divine Mission Ministry is now thinking about how they have been blessed so that they can bless others. Mm-hmm. And they're thinking about taking it to other villages, which is amazing. And they're thinking about how they can do that with the soccer team and how they can start pouring into people around them. And that's the whole point.
It is the whole point. That is why every single one of us are here.
Exactly.
To make his name known among all nations. So the foundations training was really cool, and it was really powerful. And what was so neat is that training allowed us to help the people that live in the village become disciples so that they can teach other people, so that they have more of a foundation.
Right.
That's the name, right? Mm-hmm. And so that was really cool. But to Lori's point, this year there were 9 of us there. Mm-hmm. And so we were able to make connections with people. And I would have to guess, I mean, only the Lord knows, but I would have to guess that did provide ability for the people of the village to feel more connected with these non-Mzungus because there was different connections being made. Uh-huh. Is that what you were alluding to a second ago?
Yes, I think that different personalities, of course, meld with different people. And so that, gave them more people really and more different personalities in which to kind of attach and dive in. And all of us love the children, all the children. Brittany, that was your thing. You really, really enjoyed the children so much. And all of us did. Yeah. But also the women and we had men on our team, and the men got discipled. Yes. And Craig was able to, pour into them with the Bible study that is still continuing after we leave, which is the whole point.
Incredible. And in fact, for all the listeners, the Divine Mission Ministry has a Facebook page. There's actually 2 ministries named this. So you got to look for the one with the blue emblem with a little bit of gold in it. Mm-hmm. That is if you want to go check out this village, it's just, to see what they're doing now. Mm-hmm.
How they're continuing.
Yes.
That's the cool part.
Yes.
To know that what you've done has created a legacy.
For sure.
Yeah.
And Lori, have you ever had anyone say, well, I think a lot of times when people go on mission trips, they get more out of it than the people who are there. Have you ever heard anyone say that? Yeah,
yes.
Me too.
Yeah, and I believe it because I've experienced it. We are blessed to be a blessing, and then that comes right back to us.
Yes, and that is the other part. Like I know that trip was profound for me, life-changing, soul-shaking, just ground moving for myself. However, you know what the vision I have from the trip, you mentioned it a little bit ago, the very last day we were in the village, which, man, that was hard to get in. But the whole village was there once again.
Yes.
And they brought us gifts.
They did.
Do you remember what the women said? I heard one of them say, well, they said it in front of all of us, but it was so profound to me. She said, you have come, in Chichewa and through the translator, but what I remember her saying is, you have come, you have shared with us, and we will go tell other villages. Do you remember that?
Yes.
You do?
I do.
What was your feeling with all of that, or what do you recall from that? What's your memory of that moment?
Well, we were all standing there, and they were singing again, and they gave us chickens.
We have a picture.
We have a picture. We have evidence.
We're getting on a plane in 24 hours.
And we have 13 chickens. Yeah, because it's something, I mean, for them, a chicken is very important.
It's worth a lot.
It's worth a lot. I mean, if maybe you have 5 or 6 chickens and you're giving up one of them to say thank you.
Yes.
And it was profound. And so we got chickens, and we got gourds, and we got some drinks, and just whatever they had to give us. Yeah. Which is like the woman, the poor woman who gave out of her, her
the alabaster jar.
Yes. It just pours into your heart the way people are willing to give up so much, so much, it was really valuable for them. And so they're singing, and we're crying and thinking about, leaving, but they're so thankful, and they're so attached. They don't want us to go. Yeah. And it just showed me God's love.
Yes.
And how he loves all of us, and just runs and chases after us, and forgives us, and gives us chance after chance, and just wants us all to be in his family worshiping, and it was difficult to leave.
It was so difficult to leave.
Yes.
And we were there for 10 days, right? We were there for 10 days.
Yeah, in the village. Yeah.
We were gone 14 days because it was a hard travel.
Yes,
it was
a long way.
40 hours, I think, going in, coming. But my goodness, those 10 days, they were moving. And so going back to someone who's a little skeptical, like, oh, well, the people that go gain more than the people that are there. When we were given 13 chickens, and we know how substantial that is for their livelihood to give away a chicken, and for I'll just never forget the woman. I don't know that I knew her name, but she said, what you have taught us, we will go and teach others. And so, you just really never know when you go, and you definitely receive, but you also don't know what is received.
Well, only God knows, and God multiplies.
Yeah.
He takes our meager little offerings and multiplies it, tenfold and more, and just uses it to spread his glory. It is like watching the glory of the Lord.
Amen. Yeah, it is like watching the glory of the Lord. So, that welcoming presence we've talked about. We've also talked a little bit just about, what we noticed in the village and teaching of the foundations, and then this idea that it seems like it is definitely making a ripple effect. What else, Lori? What else is coming to mind in terms of your memories of that trip? Is there something bubbling up?
Just so many. It's so hard. I went through the pictures today to send you a few, and I wanted to send you 40,000 because they're all so good.
They are so good.
Yeah, and it's just hard to, pinpoint one thing. Our team was amazing, and it was kind of like the dream team.
It was.
Yeah, everybody really wanted to be there, and we're really pouring into everyone. I enjoyed, I have one little memory. Sandra and I decided that we really needed to do Vacation Bible School.
Oh, yes. I remember, yes. That night before we were making our son.
Yes.
And all the things.
Yes, all the things. We thought, I've never been on a mission trip that we didn't do Vacation Bible School. We've got to do it. Yes. So we planned all this stuff, Yeah. Man makes their plans, but God directs their paths.
He might have chuckled at us that
He
day.
might have had a little laugh. We had all these wonderful plans about teaching the stories of Jesus, and prepared, and we spent a night cutting things out and getting ready, and we just didn't know that we were going to have these itty bitties. Yeah, we were thinking school age, but their school is a preschool, and it starts at 18 months.
Yeah.
So we had 80 18-month to 2-year-olds, and 60 2 and 3-year-olds, and 50 3 and 4 year olds. And they had never held a pencil before in their life. They didn't even know what they were. They had never drawn or written on never had a piece of paper before in their life.
Yeah.
So we're having them draw a little fish.
And so so for our listeners, let me just paint a really quick picture for you. You've got a concrete building.
Yep.
And it is concrete floors, which in itself is a very nice.
Yes, it is big upgrade from being on the ground.
Right. So 3 classrooms.
Yep.
It is winter in Malawi when we were there, but that means 80 is the high. So, I mean, it's not cool.
It's not cold, no.
It's not hot, but it's not cool. There are windows in the classrooms, but no fan. And it was literally a room with concrete floors and concrete walls. And we did buy whiteboards while we were there, and the men mounted them on the wall. So they were so excited about their whiteboards.
Yes.
But yeah, no pencils, no paper. But these children, they're just in there learning and they're craving the word, and their teachers, Simon, Rosemary, and Manus, are just the most beautiful souls in there pouring into these children.
Yes.
They don't have teacher's aides. I used to be a teacher.
No, there's 18-month-old to 2-year-olds in a classroom. One teacher.
Yep. Okay. So we prepare, we're ready to go do VBS and
and surprise. So we take our little paper and we take our little pencils, and they're all sharpened, and we're so excited about teaching. And there we are with our So I'm trying to draw a little fish as I'm telling the story, and they're all listening, little bitties, and they're trying to
with
draw.
the translator,
translating
keeping
everything.
attention, 18-month-olds.
It was hilarious. Yeah, so they had never heard stories of Jesus.
Yeah.
They had never, drawn or written anything, never had a crayon. So it was an experience that they had never had. And Kelly just said, whatever you can teach them, that is so much more than they know right now.
Yes.
And so they listened and they tried to draw, and we talked about how Jesus told them to throw the net over.
Yes.
And then they pulled up all these fish and how God's going to provide for them.
Yeah.
And it's a lesson that they had never heard. So even though they're tiny, they learned.
Yes.
And they took it all in. And I believe that God is going to grow that faith in their minds.
I do too. And the children of Malawi taught me, so I'm a mom of 3, and those children just taught me about the beauty in being present.
Yes.
And stopping and playing with the simple things and just being present.
Eliminate the hurry.
Eliminate the hurry. Look in their eyes. Do the hand claps. Do the chicken dance.
You do the chicken dance 20,000 times.
Yes. And, draw the fish, do the things. And it's just about being faithful. Mm-hmm. Being faithful to be there with a fellow human being who is made in God's image, looking right back at you with sparkling eyes. Mm-hmm. And lots of congestion, because bless their hearts, so many of them were sick while we were there, but it just was incredible. So, and Laura, you did a great job of adapting quickly. I mean, I remember seeing you and Sandra scurrying in there, and Sherry was running back and forth going, we're going to have to change it. We're going to have to change it.
To do something different.
Yeah. And it's the dream team. God just let our gifts shine, and we pivoted when we needed to pivot.
Right.
And it just worked out.
And that's what you do on mission trips. You plan.
Yeah.
And then God directs your path, and he provides. And you just do the next thing that God puts in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was loving children.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, and you should have seen Brittany teaching them how to brush their teeth.
Oh my goodness. Oh yes. I wish I could think of the Chichia words.
The words.
Now. We created a little song, and Precious Simon helped me to sing the song to teach them how to brush their teeth, because so many people donated for that trip. We had 9 team members. We each had one bag for our personal items, and then we each had a humanitarian bag, and we were able to take many things to bless the village, like toothbrushes, soap, some medical supplies, even the materials to build the stovepipe.
Right.
In a suitcase.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It was so good. So as we wrap it up, Lori, I just thank you for your servant heart, and I just am amazed to be at FBC, a church that really does, I would just say, truly embrace the Great Commission. And it's such an honor to be here. And I love seeing like what he's done in your life, how you've gone on many mission trips, and yet however many you've been on, you are lit up smiling about a trip that happened months ago.
Yeah, but it was wonderful.
Yeah.
And God is, FBC has been wonderful to support missions for years. We have a long history.
Yeah.
But now we're focusing on taking Jesus where his name has never been heard.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's it's important.
Yeah.
And we all learned about that in Perspectives. So if you haven't taken Perspectives, we're offering it again in January.
Thursday nights?
Yes, Thursday nights right here at FBC.
That's what got me to Malawi.
Yeah, that's what taught a lot of us God's heart for the nations and how we need to complete the task.
We need to complete the task.
Yep.
Yeah. And we all can play a part, and we all can store up our treasures in heaven by playing a part, however that may look.
Right. Everybody's got a part, and it may not be that you're going to go to a foreign country, but you might be praying, you might be sending, you might be providing funds, you might be providing, like a lot of people did for our trip. A lot of people provided crayons and markers and all the things that we took for the children. And just, whatever your part is, God's calling you.
Absolutely. Another one is welcoming. You might welcome internationals here locally.
Exactly.
There's so many opportunities to make his name known. And listeners, we truly do have a part. So as you listen to this, I'm going to bounce it back to you in a minute, Lori, to see if there's anything else you want to add to this. But as you listen to this, listeners, you might be thinking, well, I don't know if I could go to Malawi. I don't know if I could do whatever. You don't know what you could do, but the Lord does. And he has a plan for you. And he gave you specific skills and passions. But all of our purpose is the same. And how he provides you opportunities to make his name known among all nations is really between you and the Lord. What would you say about that, Lori?
I totally agree with that. And, sometimes it's your little group that's right around you.
Yeah.
Maybe God has you just speaking to people in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to, it's your family. Maybe your mission field is right here in Boerne, or maybe it's in San Antonio.
Yeah.
But God has a plan, and he gave you certain gifts, and we all need to use those gifts.
And I think the thing about it is it's the most fulfilling and joyful. It's hard to say it was work, but it is the most joyful and fulfilling work I've ever done.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
So
join us next time.
Yeah, for sure. Lori, for those of you that don't know Lori, she is very involved at the women's ministry here at First Baptist. And, you can approach her, you can ask her questions, and just, get a feel. So if the Lord stirs that in your heart, we definitely want to walk alongside you. We definitely want to share and encourage and answer your questions, because we don't want you to miss out on what the Lord has for you.
For you. Yes, for each of us.
Absolutely. So listeners, thank you so very much. I do highly recommend that you go back and learn a little bit more about the work in Malawi. Episodes 51 and 74 and FBC's part in that. There's so much going on in that amazing village. And so you can learn more, or you can even, reach out to someone here at the church and find out more. And Lori, thank you for coming in today. Thank you for sharing your stories. Thank you for sharing your time. And thank you for sharing your heart with God's people.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Until next time, we hope that you are blessed, and we hope that this has stirred your heart.
We are so thankful that you joined our podcast today. We would love to hear any feedback you may have for us. Remember, Psalm 67 says, "May God be gracious to us and bless us, and make his face shine on us, so that your ways may be known on earth and your salvation among all nations." Don't forget why the Lord blesses us. It's so that we can be a blessing to those around us. Until next time, God bless.